What's going on? Your host, LovelyCheesePizza here. Welcome back to Let's Play some more Top Gear. And in the last episode, and totally not planned by the way, we went to France and knocked that one out. And it just so happened to be the same day that the Paris attacks happened. Such bad timing. God rest their souls. But yeah, it was weird. Like, I didn't realize until after I'd gotten done filming what was going on over there, and I was like, oh no! Dude, it was all bad. But now we're headed off to Italy, and this track is weird looking. It reminds me of something that I'd see, like maybe something that was in, like, War of the Worlds, or, you know, or maybe like The Fog or something. Like, I feel like one of those weird, like, tall-ass, gangly, alien type of, you know, things kind of looked like that. But I could be way off. I haven't seen those movies in a long time, mainly because I hate Tom Cruise. I've just never really been a big fan of his, and it's even funnier to me that he's like 5'2", and so they have to do so many like upward shots for him, just so it doesn't make him look so wildly small all the time. But hey, what do you do? This particular track, it features an insane amount of just turning all the time. Like, there's only like 2 areas in here where you're actually driving straight, and they're both for such like limited amounts of time. I can't stand it. But we'll be okay. This is where having it's one of the longer 3-lap races in the game, and so it really comes in handy to have the nitro, because once you get down to that 3rd lap, you're really gonna be pushing it. But we'll think we'll be okay. A lot of the time when I do this race, it would, like, when you get right around the last couple turns there, you're almost out of gas. So maybe we'll see what happens here. I'm going to try to not use the nitro if I don't have to, since we're, you know, we should be able to catch up to Richie in definitely with more than enough real estate to go here. That's what I hate about that turn, man. You have to slow down just a little bit, so all the momentum that you're trying to build ends up just going by the frickin' wayside, and I hate it. But we're coming up on it, and I don't know if the red guy is going to be able to hold off and win this thing or not. I think that he's going to run out of gas before he gets the chance. Could be wrong though. I feel like the gas consumption is a little bit different. Like, I downloaded a different version of this emulator a while back, and it seems like, I don't know, it seems like things are just a wee bit different here. I could be wrong, though. I guess I'll be able to judge it here in a second, depending on what his gas looks like when we come around this. Yeah, you know what? I think that the fuel consumption's a little bit different here now. Because, like, normally when I'd be playing against the rival car, he wouldn't even get to this point. Like, he'd run out of gas almost every time before he even got to the other turn there. So I think that maybe things have changed a little, just by the different emulator that I'm using. I don't know. Maybe. It's very interesting. But who knows? Who knows? What do I know? I mean, I don't know anything. I'm just the guy at the register and whatnot. This is a fun race. I love Rome, Italy. This I don't really know what it kind of looks like. It kind of looks like somebody laid like a wrench, or maybe like a slingshot, or one of those what do they call them? Is it a tuning fork? I don't know. I'm not sure. I feel like tuning forks kind of look like that. Yeah, it kind of just looks like all of those things just lying on their side. But this is it's a tricky race. Like, it doesn't look like it. The diagram of this race doesn't really lend a lot to the, this is going to be a tough one type of visual, but it is. But it's also one that you can gain a lot of speed in without there being, like, any crazy polar up and down hills. It's just, like, it's a really gradual thing, and it just kind of sneaks up on you. Like, just keep an eye on my speedometer here. It doesn't look like we're doing much of anything, but we're constantly gaining speed. Virtually at all times. We're going to be really cooking here in a minute. I mean, that slow cooker, we're really bringing it up to a boil right now, I'll tell you. But around, I think it's like the 3 or 2, about the 3 laps left area, we're going to have to hit the pits. So this is another one of those races that if you're not careful, and if you're not using nitro, it is so hard to come out in first place on it. Like, I've done it a few times, but it's pretty difficult, because when you have to pit, you're gonna have to almost go all the way back to full again, and so you're really gonna have to make up a lot of ground, and it's hard. It's really legitimately hard. So I think I'm gonna burn one here, just because we really need to start establishing a little bit of a lead. I mean, even with the nitro, we'll certainly be able to probably make it up in the end, but I'd love to be able to do it now, just to have the insurance policy, because, hey, you know, when you have a $57 insurance premium, then everything's all good, but it's liability only, so if anything really bad happens, you're totally screwed, right square in the balls. So, I think we're gonna be okay, though. I read about something really weird today, and it's actually really upsetting. I can't stand it. Like, it's just like the ultimate definition of this country in a nutshell now. But apparently a school, or like the principal of said school, threatened to take legal action on a 9-year-old for writing a love letter to a girl that he liked. Are you kidding? Really? Is that really what we're getting worried about? And they were gonna take legal action for sexual harassment. It's like, are you nuts? He's 9. Like, come on. And like, they even like highlighted some of the things that were in the note, and it just said, like, you know, in really, you know, 9-year-old-esque scribbly writing. It was just like, it was totally innocent. It just said stuff like, you know, you're really pretty and your eyes shine like diamonds and whatnot, which, what the hell happened to that type of talking to girls now? Instead of being like, oh man, your tits are awesome and I love your tight ass. Oh, we rewound that on accident. My bad. But yeah, what happened to talk like that, where you got like, oh, your eyes shine like diamonds and and you know, other similar things, instead of just being like, oh man, I love your ass. In the same type of tone, too. The exact same kind. But yeah, and so the principal says, they said that it was inappropriate that the kid wrote that note. It's like, why? He's just telling a girl that he likes her. Like, it's not like, you know, you find further in there like, oh, I want to bend you over the desk and, you know, do naughty things when the teacher's not looking, you know? It's not stuff like that, like, oh, I want to take my box of crayons and cram it into your butt or something. Like, that's not even what was said in any remote capacity. He was just saying, like, I like you. Like, it's crazy how the world has changed since I was in, like, when I was in kindergarten, I got sent to the principal's office for pulling a girl's pants down, like all the way down to her ankles, like exposing the whole freaking ghibli bits, even though girls don't have ghibli bits, but you know what I'm saying. you know what I'm getting at. And so, like, I did that, and they sent me to the principal's office, and the principal sat me down, and they're like, Adam, look, you can't do that, okay? It's not okay for you to walk up to a girl and pull her pants down. Like, that's not... Oh, he made it! Cool! Awesome! Well done, my friend! You did it! But they're like, look, you can't do that. That's a really bad thing to do, okay? So don't do it again. And so I was like, if you do it again, you're gonna get in a lot of trouble. And so I was like, oh, okay, I guess I won't do it again. This track kind of reminds me of like a person in like a snowmobile, but it doesn't have like the ski things on it. That's like totally what this looks like to me. Is that not what? Because you can see like the windshield thing and the guy sitting in there in the back of it. That whole thing. But yeah, like if I would have done that now, like if I were in kindergarten now and I pulled a girl's pants down, like the parents would have like sued my parents for like $40 million for emotional damage and probably like quote unquote ruining their daughter's life for all of eternity, and you know, I would have been like sent to prison and had my head cut off by, you know, by somebody making a shiv out of like a, you know, piece of wood and something else. Like that's the kind of world we live in now. You have like everything has to be like, everybody's so hypersensitive about every friggin' thing that happens anymore that, you know, just you can't do anything without there being some sort of repercussion by a group of some kind, and it drives me nuts. Like there's no just like, you can't dismiss anything as innocence anymore. Like even if it totally is in nature, you know, especially with kids. Like it'd be one thing if like, you know, if there was more questionable stuff going on there, or if, you know, they were older or whatever, but it was like, it was like just a kid being a sweet little kid, and now, you know, they're pretty much giving him this message that, you know, how dare you write a note being nice to somebody? You should not do that. You should just, you know, keep your words to yourself and, you know, not express yourself to anybody. Like, we're like teaching people not to express themselves anymore in a way, and it just, I hate it. I hate it. We may have to use a nitro here. I'm hoping it doesn't come down to that, but I think we might have to do it. And I think yep, there it is. This is one of the few tracks in the game that kind of goes into that, from the day to night cycle. Usually it goes from night to day cycle, but I'm a particular proponent for the going into night cycle. Those ones are always fun. Okay, I think we might be able to do it. I'm not sure. I feel really uncomfortable about this, so I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Oh, God. Yeah, even with the nitro, we only beat him by 0.2, so that was a close one. Yet another one that if you're rolling on without nitro, that guy got 11-11. Make a wish, dog. If you're rolling without nitro and you make some mistakes, you may not finish the race. It's creepy times. But again, I do think legitimately that something happened between me using a new emulator and the older one I was using in terms of how this, like, the ROM image of this game reacts. Because, like, normally, the Rome race, the Pisa Italy one there, and the Sicily one, like, in almost all of those, in the previous version that I was working with, the computer guy wouldn't finish it. Like, and he was using the purple car, which actually has better fuel consumption than the one he's using. So something changed, and it's kind of crazy. It's really weird how this is working. And I'm actually fairly intrigued to see something in the next episode in terms of fuel consumption. We're really gonna see something interesting there. So we'll see what happens. All right. This one kind of looks like just like a statue, just like a really general-looking statue, or maybe like a weird-looking keyhole, like a kind of warped-looking keyhole in a way. But this is one we won't even need any nitro for any reason. Just that big downhill dip right there will really take care of all of it for us. Yeah, we'll have so much spacing from the other dude here that not even a big deal. Not even a little bit. Oh yeah, we also get this one too. So we have two different areas where, I mean, we're just melting the road here. We're getting like a good old-fashioned fire trail behind our tires. Like, unless I run into one of these light poles, we're gonna run away with this thing. Which is always a possibility. I've definitely had times where I totally screw that up, but we're gonna be fine. We're not even gonna have to worry about it even a little bit. Even with how fast he's going, he's not even gonna challenge me. Not even once! Alright. Nice and easy. Yeah, man, so, I mean, Italy can be tough, but mainly I think it was because of just the way that my ROM would behave. Because, like, fuel was such an important thing in most of those races, but it really seemed to be more of a non-factor than anything else. So, yeah, it's pretty interesting. I was really kind of unprepared for the way that was going to handle. I was expecting me to have, you know, the 80 points, and the computer guy to have virtually no points at all because he wouldn't finish any of the damn races. So, it's a bummer. But with that said, my friends, when we come back on what will be the finale of Top Gear, we're going to be heading into the last country in the game. We're going off to England. Dun 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 dun. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. This Simply Lemonade is the only thing keeping me awake at this point. Because Simply Lemonade is awesome. And when we come back, we're gonna go check that one out, and I'm really intrigued to see what happens in there because I just am. Well, I'll explain it to you in that episode when we get there. So, with that said, my friends, this is your host, LovelyCheesePizza, saying thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.